All right, I just got back from my Pilates class and I just thought I'd do this video really quick because a lot of my library books are already due. So I need to get those. I need to return those this week. So I wanted to share with you my fall TBR. If you're not into books and stuff, you can skip this video. I'm not offended at all. It's totally fine. So I just wanted to start off with my library books first to share with you. Most of my books are like fantasy. Just want to let you know that, just because that's just what I like. That's what I'm into. Usually during like winter time, I'll read more mysteries, but during fall, for whatever reason, like fantasy and horror really, like, you know, I gravitate towards them. So, and some of these are mysteries too. Let's just get into it. Okay, so I want to talk about the books that I need to return. Just finished these two books here. It's a duology by Rachel Gillig. It's like a gothic fantasy, and it's a wonderful duology. I really like this book the most because we really get inside the main character's head and what lives in there. And then this book, it was like a good conclusion for, you know, the start of this, but it wasn't as good as this in my opinion. But together, awesome. I highly recommend this if you're into gothic fantasies. Yeah, and you know, I just love books where women find their strength, because I think that is something that we all need in our lives. We all need to find our strength and be really proud of it, and to also like accept both the light and the dark part of ourselves as well. So highly recommend if that's what you're into. So again, this is One Dark Window and the other one is Two Twisted Crowns, and they're by Rachel Gillig. So the next book I read, I decided to keep with Rachel Gillig. I hope I'm pronouncing her, is it Gillig or Gillig? Yeah, I don't know. Okay. The next book I read was also from her, which is The Night and the Moth, which is a new series. So this book here is called The Shepherd King Duology, and this here is a new series. I don't think it's a duology. It's the Stonewater Kingdom, and also the main character is a female. You know, she ends up finding her strength and her power. It had a cliffhanger at the end, which I was totally not expecting at all. Well, you know, I would say the last, you know, eighth of the book, like I picked up on it. I knew something was happening, but the, you know, majority of the book, like you had no clue this was going to happen. So yeah, you got to have a cliffhanger, right? If you're going to have another book. So yeah, this was good. Not as good, in my opinion, as One Dark Window, but I'm interested to see where the story goes, and maybe as a whole, it's going to be awesome. But yeah, I really am enjoying books from Rachel Gillig. So this, yeah, love this one too. Just not as much as the duology. And then I just started reading this, Mexican Gothic, which is like a horror, like a haunted house story, I guess. It like takes place in the 1950s and in Mexico. And so the main character is kind of summoned to her cousin's home to see if she's okay and stuff, because she's like hearing and seeing things. Yeah, it's so far it's good. It's intriguing, and I'm really looking forward to reading more of this book. I'm only on chapter 2, so whenever like I finish a book, this is how I keep reading, because otherwise I'll lose the momentum. So when I finish a book, I immediately pick up the next book I'm going to read, and then read the first chapter. And when I do that, then it keeps me going. If I don't do that, there'll be like long periods of time in between books. So that is like my little hack, my little trick is, and that's how I read so many books. You know, being so busy that as I am, I'm still able to read a lot. I prefer reading physical books. Some books I will listen to, like I am listening to Onyx Storm, because it's such a long book and there's just like so much information that sometimes it's better for me to listen to it than to actually read it, because I think it's kind of like back when I was reading the Game of Thrones series and then also the Expanse series. There's just so much going on, so much information. It was easier for me to listen than to read when I was reading the books. Like I would never finish them, but if I listened to them, then I would finish them. So, but this is a good book. Whether you read it or listen to it, it's good so far. So Can't wait to see how it goes. And then the next two books that I haven't read yet is Ravenfall and Hollowthorn. I think there's more than 2 books in this series, right? This is like is it young? It's not young adult. It's like middle grade, right? It's not a YA. It's a middle MG. What do you call it? Middle grade? Or is it a YA? I don't know. So I'm reading this, and if I enjoy this book series, then I'll get it for my kids. That's often what I'll do with books. Like, I'll see if it's at the library and then check them out and read them, and then if I like them and I think my kids will like them, then I'll get a copy for my kids, just because we already have so many books. If you see our home library, it's mainly my kids' books, and there's just so many there. So these books are mysteries as well, fantasy. It takes place, I guess would be like modern day. It takes place at an inn, and the family that runs it have like psychic abilities, and so there's a lot of magic and supernatural creatures and Celtic mythology, and Halloween is involved. So I think these will be really fun reads. I'm also kind of even thinking about just using them as a read aloud with my kids. Like now, the thing is that we're just so busy. It's hard to fit things in. This semester, there's a lot going on, especially since my oldest is in high school, and he's taking a lot of classes. And now the rest of the books are books that I own. Some of them I got them from Barnes & Noble because my friend gave me a gift card to Barnes & Noble, and I usually don't shop at Barnes & Noble. So yeah, it was fun to get a gift card and to order books. I think they had like a big sale or something, and I took advantage, and I bought some books. And then the other books, the ones that have like these little numbers on them, I got them at the Friends of the Library bookstore, which is like my favorite place to buy books because they're cheap. And usually you can get some really good books in there. You just have to look. It's like a thrift store, right? You gotta like search. And some days I'll score and find a lot of books, and other days not so many. And that's probably one of the reasons why we have so many books in our home library for the kids, because there's a lot of really good kids books that people are just like donating. So, and we also have a little free library in our front yard, and so whatever books that I get that my kids end up not really liking or whatever, we end up putting out there. And then also like the books that I read, because I don't really like to keep, unless they're like super favorite, loved it so much, I'm not going to keep any of the books that I purchase. I'm usually going to put them out in the little free library for someone else to read. Moving on. So I have these cozy, like little witchy mystery books. There's like a lot in this series. And so I love it. Just like I love to binge watch my shows, I love to binge read a series. And it's an Evenfall, which is B&B mystery. So another magical inn, another mystery. It just seems like really cozy. Everyone that I've talked to that knows that I like witchy things and cozy mysteries, they highly recommended this series. So, In the Company of Witches and When the Crow's Away. So I think this is book 1, this is book 2. And so those are on my read. I read really quick. My kids take jujitsu, and when my boys are jujitsu, I don't have to be there because they're older. And so my daughter and I go on our walks around the area there. It's at the marina. And then when my daughter has jiu-jitsu, I need to stay in case she gets hurt or has to go to the bathroom or whatever. And I like to read books. And because, she goes 3 to 4 days a week, that's pretty much 3 to 4 hours I have to read. And then oftentimes at night, if the book I'm reading is not too intense, I'll read at night before bed. If the book I'm reading is too intense, I'm not going to read it before bed, because if I do, I'm not going to be able to sleep. Like my adrenaline's going to be running. I'm going to want to read the next chapter. And the next thing you know, it's like 2 a.m. and I'm still reading. And then I can't fall asleep afterwards. Yeah. So next on my list is The Night Circus. This is an older book. This is from it's been on my TBR for a long time. This is from 2012, right? Yeah, I found this for only $2 at Friends of the Library. And yeah, I've been wanting to read this, and I don't know. I don't really like buying hardcover books at full price because they're so expensive. And then, had kids, been busy, didn't pick up the book, kind of forgot about it. And then when I saw it in the Friends of the Library, I grabbed it, and it's been in my like TBR. Like I have like this fake fireplace that has like shelves on the sides, hidden shelves, I guess. And I put it in there, and it's been there for over a year, I think. And so I'm finally gonna get to it, hopefully this fall. Yeah, whatever I don't finish in the fall, we'll just roll over to winter. There's no like desperate energy, no rush to read it all and feel bad later that I didn't get to it all. But these are just the books I want to read because it's, you know, it's fall, it's spooky season right now. Halloween is like one of my favorite holidays. Fall is like my favorite season. So yeah, The Night Circus, if you're unfamiliar, it's like obviously about a circus and a couple of magicians that kind of have like this competitive thing with each other. And I think they're also like maybe like an enemies to lover kind of thing. I'm not too sure. I haven't read it. I try not to read too much of the synopsis of the books because I want to go in kind of surprised. So probably why you're not getting a lot of info from me from books that I haven't read yet, because yeah, I don't want to know too much. The next two, here we have How to Solve Your Own Murder. And so this one takes place in 1965, English country fair, where a fortune teller makes a bone-chilling prediction that the main character will be murdered. And so now she's trying to solve the mystery before it happens. So this seems like a really cozy kind of a book. And yeah, can't wait to get to that. And then next I have A Witch's Guide to Innkeeping. So I loved her first book. I loved Sengu Mandana. I loved Sengu Mandana's first book, which is, The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. I loved that book. I loved it. And so obviously I grabbed this one, but I also heard it's not as good as the first one. So I hate when I hear things like that. I wish I didn't hear that. But yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to read this book. And it's about Sarah Xuan, used to be one of the most powerful witches in Britain. Then she resurrected her great aunt Jasmine from the very recently dead, lost most of her magic, befriended a semi-villainous talking fox, and was exiled from her guild. Now she, slightly reluctantly and just a bit grumpily, helps Jasmine run an enchanted inn in Lancashire, where she deals with her quirky guest shenanigans, tries to keep set. You know what? I think maybe the reason why people didn't love this because they wanted a continuation of the main character from the first book, you know? And this is about a different character from the same, it looks like from the same coven, but yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to read. But yeah, it's like a little romantic fantasy. And witches. I love witches. And yes, I'm super excited that Practical Magic, they're making another one. Like, are they following the storylines of the newer books that were written? Next is Shadow and Bone. I know the series is on Netflix, but sometimes I want to read the book before I watch the series because if it's reverse, I don't really enjoy it as much. Like, I want to read the books first and then watch the series. So I haven't watched this series yet. I don't know if it's good. So if it's good, let me know and I'll watch it. Because I heard Discover Witches, that series is not good. So Shadow and Bone by Lee Bardugo. And it's part of a trilogy. So I only have 3 books to read, which is good. Because sometimes fantasy books are just like a lot. And if it's more than 3 books, it's like it gets overwhelming. Like the whole Throne of Glass series, I still haven't finished it. I think I have like 3 more books to go. And it's just, I don't know, it's like kind of like TV series, like after the 4th season, like I don't really want to continue watching it. Like I'm already over it. I've had my fill. So, I don't know. I like duologies. I like trilogies. When we go beyond 3 books, then it's kind of like, oh, still going? I'm not too sure what I'm going to do because the Fourth Wing series obviously is going to be more than 3 books, and that 3rd book is pretty hefty. I mean, I guess all of them are pretty hefty. I only listen to them, but yeah, I've been listening to Onyx Storm for quite some time. I don't really know what it's about. I know there's magic involved. Obviously it's a fantasy. The main character, Alina, is a soldier and she has like magical powers, and yeah, she has to like protect the kingdom, and there's dark forces about. So yeah, let me know if you liked this series. I mean, I'm assuming if they made a TV series about it, the book must have been good. I don't know. But sometimes some books I think are really good. I want them to make them into like a TV show or TV series or a movie, and they don't. Talking about Netflix TV series. Is this one on Netflix? I don't remember what streaming service. They all kind of blend in. I'm tired of paying for all the streaming services. Anyways, A Discovery of Witches. Again, love witches. Some people love vampires. I love witches. I love witches. When I was a kid, I was a witch for every year. Every year I dressed up as a witch. I still dress up as a witch as an adult. There's been a couple years where I didn't, where I was like Star Wars characters or whatever, but witches, yeah. And then this one year we did a Harry Potter theme, and I was Bellatrix Lestrange. Yes, that was a great costume. However, I lost my wand. I don't know how I did that. I love being a witch. When was this book written? This is from 2011, but I've heard really good things about this book. So it takes place in England. There's a young scholar, and she's a descendant of witches, and she unearths like enchanted manuscripts, and she doesn't want anything to do with sorcery or anything like that. But her discovery of these manuscripts of like all these like demons and witches and other creatures started coming to her library and stuff. So yeah, this sounds like a really good book, like really like fun. I guess it's a romance book. There's suspense, there's science, there's witchcraft. And how many books are in this series? Is it 3 or is it more? Is it one of those series that have more than 3 books? Because it's a trilogy. Book 1 of the All Souls trilogy. Okay, I can handle that. I can handle a trilogy. All right, next is The 13th Child. So another gothic fantasy. I love me some gothic fantasy. Give me anything goth. That's my thing. This is a novel about a girl who, or I guess woman, a child, I don't know. She was the 13th child, and so therefore she was supposed to go to the gods or whatever, and she was destined to become the minion of the god of death. And she becomes like a healer, but she knows like when people are gonna die, and she either has to heal them or help them die or something. I'm not too sure, but she falls in love with a prince, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on here. But another gothic story, and I can't wait to read it. I don't know, is this YA or is this like an adult book? I can never tell. Like, they should just say YA on there, right? They don't do that. So yeah, heard good things about this book and can't wait to dive in. And then last, I got this one last year too, and it's The Vampires of El Norte. And I'm not really into vampire books, but I am into books written by Latino authors, especially like about like Mexico and stuff. I feel like that's a real, like, there needs to be more horror, witchy fantasy books like that takes place in Mexico. I'm interested. Vampires of El Norte. So obviously northern Mexico, southern Texas. So this takes place in the 1840s Mexico. So the main character was attacked. Everyone thought she was dead, and then obviously she wasn't. And the US invades Mexico in 1846, and the two lovers were brought back together. Nina is a curandera, which is a healer. And so like the two former lovers have to like work through their past and, you know, survive until dawn because of the vampires there. So yeah, this is fun. I love another gothic novel. Love. Can't wait to start reading these. You know, I used to love the Anne Rice novels when I was younger, like in the 90s and stuff, because that like vampires were like the thing back then. Vampires and witches. And you know, things get, I guess, recycled. Vampires and witches are the thing again. So yeah, those are my fall TBR. Like, some of them I already read, so I guess I finished those, some of them. But most of them I haven't finished, and hopefully I'll get through them. I mean, technically, winter doesn't begin until December 21st, 22nd, right? So technically I have 2.5 months to read all these books and I think I can get through them. Let's see, last month I read like 6 books, so 12 books. I think I can read 12 books. I think it's possible. I think I can do it. What do you think? You think I can do it? So I'm reading this book now, and so this is the one I'm going to read. And yeah, I guess I'll catch you guys in the next video, which should probably be about like decorating for fall, Halloween. We're kind of late in the game, and I'll go into more detail about why. But yeah, we're kind of late in the game with getting all the decoration. And I love you so much. Talk to you later. Ciao.